You can tell a story,
Okay.
and the story that you tell might have been a story that's never been told before. It doesn't necessarily make it good that it has not been told. I mean, it's good to be original, but if a story isn't sustainable, if a story somehow negatively impacts a character and you can't get out of that, then the originality is lost on having trampled the character. So you want to be A, original, yes, and B, sustainable. Spider-Man is not meant to be a character that comes to a finite end. This is not the Watchmen for Spider-Man. Spider-Man goes on and on and on and has become greater than the sum of the people who have worked on him. So, Spider-Man has outlasted Stan Lee, he has outlasted Jerry Conway, he has outlasted Todd McFarlane, he has outlasted David Michelinie, and on and on and on. So, whoever this writer is, let's just say hypothetically Dan Slott, because Dan Slott's on the book right now. Dan Slott writes a story, and this is it. This is the death of Spider-Man for all time. This is not Dan Slott's character to do that with. Has that ever been done before? Well, we've seen the death of Spider-Man, but he wasn't actually dead. Kraven's Last Hunt. Buried alive, and he dug himself out. You don't get to tell the story that takes it away from everybody else. It would be original, it would be something that hadn't been done before, but it doesn't sustain the character.
But how? Don't you feel like Spider-Man's done everything? It's hard to do. How many times can you bring back Green Goblin? How many times?
Well, we should have never brought back Green Goblin. I mean, honestly, you rarely hear me talk bad about a story. Well, here's one. Norman Osborn's death was an important point in Spider-Man's life, an important point in the development of the Bronze Age of comic storytelling, and it opened up the path for another villain to become Spider-Man's primary nemesis. It could have been Dr. Octopus. It could have been Mysterio. It could have been any number of characters. And in the fullness of time, when we got the Hobgoblin was a great new villain. It was a new villain. We didn't go back to one of the old classics. We need to reinvigorate Spider-Man. Let's take one of the old guard characters and electrify him somehow. No. Let's do a character that has not been done before. Let's take a motif, the Goblin motif, but let's paint it differently. It becomes something of a legacy, Green Goblin to Hobgoblin, but the Hobgoblin is a different person, and it's a different suit, it's a different presentation, and it's a mystery. We don't know who he is. And even after the reveal, we still didn't really know who he was. And now we do, but, whatever. We have Goblin Nation going on right now. We have a Goblin Nation, I should say. That's not the story arc, but we have a Goblin Nation. It proves that you can do something new, good, and sustainable, and so you should, as opposed to bringing Norman Osborn back to life. The dead should stay dead. It's fine that they're dead. If it was the writer's intention from the beginning to take a character offline, it's like I'm going to do the death of Batman, but I'm not really going to kill Batman. I'm going to take him out of whack for a while and do something with him behind the scenes. All right. And then that same writer reintroduces the character. It's like, hey, you thought I was dead, but I wasn't really dead. All right, you're not trying to hoodwink the reader per se. The characters who are most fooled are the characters actually in the story. It's completely different when this writer kills a character and then another writer who doesn't like that very much brings him back to life. If I had my power, and I don't, I would, step in as editor and go, no, I'm sorry, you can't unvalidate that guy's story. This is what is. You can't change that.